The world teeters on the edge of chaos, and a storm has broken. Across the Atlantic, the United States eyes Greenland, a land of ice, minerals, and strategic might. Bold, provocative, unthinkable. But France will not stay silent. From the Élysée Palace, French President Emmanuel Macron strikes. The law of the strongest cannot rule the world. He denounces aggression, warns of neo-colonial overreach, and pledges support for Greenland and Denmark. The message is clear. Sovereignty is not for sale. The Arctic heats up, not with fire, but with fury. Diplomacy has become a battlefield, and France is ready to fight.
It is not enough to simply conclude in the face of this withdrawal that the end times are near. No, the time has come to come up with new partnerships, as is the case, as I said, for defense. And the next issue is international governance, which is a broad topic. And it would be naive to say that all is well when I have just told you how chaotic it is, that might is right seems to be reigning, and people are wondering if Greenland is about to be invaded or if Canada is about to become the 51st state, or if Taiwan is under threat. Many of you discussed this with me. Actually, on the contrary, I think that times are right to reform international governance, and perhaps it is the only opportunity to do so. And perhaps the right time has come to get more involved with the United Nations. Given that the number one member no longer believes in it, the second has less faith in it, and people are questioning all the values that we have defended on a daily basis.
France is enraged. France is defiant. Macron doesn't mince words. The United States, he says, is gradually turning away from allies, freeing itself from the international rules it once championed. The Arctic becomes a battlefield, not yet of guns and missiles, but of words sharp as blades, of pride bruised and tempers flaring. And yet, the message is crystal clear. Greenland is not for sale. The island's fate is not negotiable. Its sovereignty is not a bargaining chip. French Foreign Minister echoes the call, support for Greenland unwavering. To the world, the message is thunderous. We will not allow aggression to go unchallenged.
Regarding Greenland, I don't want to repeat myself here either. I have already spoken on this subject. The President of the Republic himself visited there this summer in June, and I went there in August to affirm our support for the Danish and Greenlandic authorities, strengthen our diplomatic and strategic presence in the Arctic, and we announced the opening of a consulate in Nuuk. And as the Danish Prime Minister recently reminded us, Greenland is not for sale. It is not up for grabs. We are no longer in the era where one could buy or sell Louisiana. Therefore, these intimidations must stop, and Denmark can count on the solidarity of European countries, as reiterated by their heads of state and government in a joint statement just yesterday.
Across the ocean, the U.S. strikes back with its own fire. Vice President J.D. Vance declares bluntly that Denmark is failing, and President Trump is willing to go as far as he has to defend American interests.
The president is going to make the ultimate determination here, but there's been a lot of bellyaching from Europe, and Europe has failed to contend with the fundamental argument the president and the entire administration has made. Greenland is critical, not just to our national security, but to the world's national security. People don't realize this. The entire missile defense infrastructure is partially dependent on Greenland. If, God forbid, the Russians or the Chinese, not saying they're going to, but if, God forbid, in the future, somebody launched a nuclear missile into our continent, they launched a nuclear missile at Europe, Greenland is a critical part of that missile defense. So you ask yourself, have the Europeans, have the Danes done a proper job of securing Greenland and making sure it can continue to serve as an anchor for world security and missile defense? And the answer is obviously they haven't. They've underinvested in their security. They haven't done a good job of securing that area, that landmass. And what I hear them say is they'll always make an argument about the past. They'll say, well, we fought together in World War II, or we fought together in the war on terrorism. And we're grateful for that. We love having these allies, but just because you did something smart 25 years ago doesn't mean you can't do something dumb now. And the President of the United States is saying very clearly, you are not doing a good job with respect to Greenland. We're going to make sure we defend America's interests. And I think the President's willing to go as far as he has to make sure he does that.
The tension is palpable. Allies turn wary. Neighbors hold their breath. The Arctic, long and icebound expanse of quiet, becomes the chessboard of a new global game, strategic, ruthless, unstoppable. In the frozen silence of the Arctic, a decades-old order is stirring back to life. Denmark has confirmed the existence of a chilling military rule dating back to 1952, a rule that leaves no room for hesitation. If Greenland is invaded, Danish soldiers are required to shoot first and ask questions later. No approval, no waiting for commands, no time for diplomacy. The order is clear. Immediately counterattack invading forces, even if commanders are unaware that war has begun. The Danish Defense Ministry says the rule remains fully in force today, and this revelation comes at a moment of extraordinary. This week, U.S. President Donald Trump once again declared his intention to annex Greenland, a NATO territory, calling the Arctic island essential to American national security. He did not rule out military force.
We need Greenland from a national security situation. It's so strategic. Right now, Greenland is covered with Russian and Chinese ships all over the place. We need Greenland from the standpoint of national security, and Denmark is not going to be able to do it, I can tell you.
Every move counts. Every decision echoes across continents, and the stakes are nothing less than global order.